In this video, we'll be looking at Chapter 6, Programming Challenge number 1, in order to better understand how functions work, and we'll be coding it together. So I've gone ahead and pasted the contents of the question into REPL.it here. And what we want to do is write a program that asks the user to enter an item's wholesale cost and its markup percentage. It should then display the item's retail price. For example, if the item's wholesale cost is $5 and the markup percentage is 100%, then the item's retail price is $10. So it's 5 plus 100% of 5, which is 10. And again, if it's $5 is the wholesale and the markup is 50%, then it's going to be $5 plus 50% of $5, which is $7.50. The program should have a function called calculate retail that receives the wholesale cost and the markup percentage as arguments and returns the retail price of the item. Okay, the first thing we want to do is put our boilerplate code in here where we know we're going to include IOStream because that's what we need for input and output. And we're going to be using using namespace std. Right. Let's go ahead and put our main function in here, and that always returns 0. Alright, now we know we're going to need a function called calculate retail, and it's going to receive the wholesale cost and the markup percentage as arguments. So let's go ahead and do our function declaration here. So we know it's going to return a monetary value, so we want to return a double, and it's going to be called calculate retail, and it's going to take in a monetary value for the wholesale cost, and it's also going to take in a markup percentage. Now the markup percentage may not be a whole number. It might be like 50.5%. So just to be safe, let's say it takes in 2 doubles. Now down here we can actually define our function. Right, double, and the first one will be the wholesale cost, and the second one will be our markup percentage. Now how do we calculate it? We want to take the wholesale cost and then add to it the wholesale cost times the markup percentage. So we can just return wholesale cost plus, and then we want to do the wholesale cost times the markup percentage. Now because markup percentage is actually a percentage value, to do the division with the percentage value you need to divide it by 100. Alright, so now let's go ahead and accept some input. First we need to create a few variables. Let's create a variable here for wholesale and markup and total. Let's set them all, initialize them all to 0. Okay, let's go ahead and prompt the user for the values. Wholesale cost. And then we want to take that value in. Because it's not a string, we can go ahead and use cin instead of getLine. Then we want to enter markup percentage. Assign that to markup. Now we want to say the total equals, and then we want to call our function. So calculate retail, and it's going to take in the wholesale and the markup. And note that this wholesale value right here lines up with the first input parameter for our calculate retail. It doesn't use the names to match them up. You can see that the names are actually slightly different. It uses the order that you pass them in. So let's go ahead and output now. Put some lines there. We're going to do cout.precision2 because we're going to be formatting for currency here. cout, and then we want a fixed total, and we know it's going to be a dollar amount, and then output our total. Okay. Let's go ahead and run this. We got an error on line 31. Yes. I put a colon here instead of a semicolon. Let's go ahead and run. Okay, this time that seemed to work. Now let's use the sample values they gave. So 5.00 and a Markov of 100. Well, we got the right value, but it looks like we're off a little bit here. So let's fix our output formatting. We want to start a new line there. Let's go ahead and put in the second set of values. So 5.00 and 50%. And there we get 750. All right, and that's it for this